Hi there! We are at the 25th anniversary of the OOP conference.
Today we had our keynote talk and now we want to show you our Pecha Kucha.
3, 2, 1, go! Yeah, let's start with see like a Terminator. So it's about augmented reality. What does it mean? You use your human senses and you extend it with computer-generated information. So you can do some operations like real-time measurement, face detection and stuff. So what the Terminator does normally. Yeah, but it's the year 91. The master G von Alfred Baum, he wrote The Wizard of Oz. And he wrote a novel about a little guy playing with electrical circuits. A demon popped up and he gave him some devices where he was able to see human beings with a marker on it, foolish, wise, or good, and everything. Yeah, in the year 1968, there was the first real implementation of augmented reality by Ivan Sutherland with his Sword of Damocles. It was a really huge device, and with this he was able to see a small wireframe because of less CPU power, but the very first augmented reality device.
Yeah, then we had people like Fred Starner or Steve Mann, the father of wearable computing, who were able to do things like the first augmented reality devices, the first wearable computers, and they were called the Borgs at the end, and were the MIT Perceptual Computing Group.
Yeah, right. And the definition of augmented reality was done in 1992 by David Marcel and Thomas B. Cordell, while they wrote a paper for Boeing. And it was about a human head-mounted device with which you can see where to install some cables inside an airplane, for example. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, Steve Mann in 1999, he built a device. It was named iTab, and it looked really similar to a Google Glass. And so you record the real environment, you add some computer-generated information, and it gets directly streamed into the eye. This was the idea behind the iTab. Then, in 2015, state-of-the-art, the HoloLens. Yeah, it's a standalone device, you don't need to connect a smartphone with it, but there's a really important thing. So let's say when I look to Thomas, only a small fraction will be augmented and not the full field of view. This is a really important thing to know.
Yeah, so here we have our own device, the Augmented Rift done by TMG Consulting. And here we have the difference that we have a full field augmented reality view, and it consists of a 3D camera, 2 normal cameras, and also the Oculus Rift, where it is streamed into.
Yeah, right. So what can you see with the Augmented Rift? It looks somehow like this. So you have face landmark detection, so you can see part of the eyes and the eyebrows and stuff. You have emotion detection, you can measure the distance and the heart rate as well, just by looking to some people standing in front of you.
Yeah, we have a very complicated architecture where you see you have 2 cameras, you stream them through some processes, and in the end they get displayed. We have 2 different ways of seeing the faces and augmenting it, and that's about it.
Yeah, it's not really about some shadow effects because the type. Okay, so
yeah, the Oculus Rift itself is nothing but a smartphone in theory. It is just a Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and yeah, even the touch hardware is still there, and everything that's left is 2 lenses and a few gyroscope and
yeah. So. The Oculus Rift SDK, it helps us with doing this barrel distortion and generating chromatic aberration. You can see it on the edges in this computer-generated picture. And this is because the lenses, they will generate chromatic aberration. And when I use the SDK, so it gets somehow deleted. For doing face detection and stuff, we are using it into RealSense camera f200, and yeah, what can it do? It can do speech recognition, speech synthesis, and all the stuff I told you. So it's full HD, it works with infrared laser, and it has a RGB camera implemented as well. So how can you detect the heart rate? That's the question. So with each and every heartbeat, some blood gets pressed into the head, and this results in a very, very small color change in your skin, and then you are able to calculate the heart rate. Maybe it's not as precise like a medical device, but it's really okay.
Yeah, let's get to the code. So this is it's really simple to program it. You just have to look at how many faces are detected, and you can iterate over each face, and then you can query the pulse object. And that's about it, everything you need to do to just get the heart rate.
And it's the same for face detection and stuff. So the challenges, what were the challenges? Yeah, the libraries and the hardware are still in development. We work with development kits, so they are unstable somehow and not well maintained.
Yeah, and also we had some problems concerning the interfaces, especially with USB, where we had really huge problems.
Yeah. That's right. So, of course, the size and the weight is a huge problem, but think about using some goggles like Thomas with transparent displays and adding such a very, very small 3D device, which is able to do somehow the same like Microsoft Kinect, and only weighs 50 grams instead of 1.5 kilo.
Yeah, concerning the fields of application, we can do a lot using, for example, traffic and using some dynamic head-up displays instead of the static ones. This can also be done in the area of airplanes, and you can do some extra thing in the industry.
Or healthcare devices.
Yeah. And this gives us a whole new user experience, so you can experience not just 2D images, but the 3D representations, for example, of the dinosaurs. You can be more productive with all this augmented reality, and you can do things you could not do before, even without preparation.
Yeah, but there is a disadvantage, and this is the information overload. So think about when you're just walking around and there is an SMS incoming whilst you are walking on the street with some GPS navigation information on it, and if there is maybe some spam SMS and so on. So this could get close.
Thank you.
So next time I expect to do it with the glasses.
Yes,
And wasn't it your first pair, Pecha Kucha?
Yeah, the first group audience.
Yeah, give them a